Hello and welcome back, my RC people. As you can see, we have a pile of parts and an Fcx24 sitting in front of us. You knew I couldn't leave it alone for long. So the first upgrades I'm going to start with, since FMS really doesn't have any upgrades that are specifically for their vehicles yet, which I'm hoping they do, eventually come out with a whole line of upgrades. That'd be nice. They have a lot of vehicles to choose from. So I got these treal wheels, and these are brass bead locks. Let's see if we can get these opened up and have a look. I'm hoping that the extra weight of these brass wheels will help out quite a bit, because it is a tiny bit top heavy, being a hard body and everything. Well, they include all of your hardware here. That's a lot of little screws. And here's one of their wheels, which I thought were just really good looking wheels, and I'm hoping they're going to turn out looking good on this. And I have got these RC four-wheel drive mudslingers to go on them, because I think that the mudslinger tire is going to be a perfect tire for this thing. So I'm going to end up start cutting these foams as well. Hopefully they'll mount to these wheels alright. If not, I've got a backup plan. And then I've got the 43mm injora shocks. Now I've used these before on other builds, and I really like these shocks. I know that you can put oil in the FMS shocks, but I'd rather just put a dab of grease in these. I really like kind of a sag setup most of the time anyway. Just enough grease or oil in there to keep the O-rings lubricated, or in this case, keep the friction down. Let's just go ahead and dump them all out here. Now, they give you 3 different spring options, a light, medium, and heavy, but the reason I really like these shocks is, let me zoom in here. Okay, so you've got your normal piston goes in, and the piston behind it. So these go absolutely tiny, from 43mm to next to nothing. And you also have the adjustable collet right there, so you can adjust your tension. And I will end up opening these up, and I'll just put a dab of grease down in there, and it should work pretty good for me. Well, I am going to get all of this torn apart and start putting it together, and then I will get back with you on what it looks like. Little quick update along the way. I wanted to open these portals up because I've heard rumors that they're bone dry, and they are. That moisture you see in there is water where I had it down in the creek bed the other day. So I'm going to grease that all up before I put it back together. A little progress report. Because we are messing with an FMS and using Fcx24 parts, things are not going to fit 100% properly. So, for instance, our ball ends are not going to be the same size, and with this, you can see over on this side that the shock from the factory goes on the same ball end. It's like a double ball end that goes on your trailing arm link. So what I've done is I have put new holes in right here and right here, and I've experimented. You can see a couple other holes where I've tried different mounting options, but I think this is going to be the good one for me. These mount in there nice, and I got really good articulation back here, and tons of compression, tons of sag. Be careful when you are doing your relocation. So like if you put it here, you will get more flex, but you'll get so much flex that at full end your drive shaft will come undone. Now, to put the holes in this, most drill bits are going to be too large. You're going to have a really hard time finding a drill bit small enough. So what I end up doing is I will take like my torch and a set of channel locks with a needle, and I'll blowgun dart in this case, and I'll heat that up, pick where I want my hole, and just guide it right through. And this tends to, for me at least, it makes the perfect size hole through plastic to rethread the whatever size these are. I think maybe 1mm, because they're definitely a little bit smaller than the 2Ms. But the other thing you can do, and this will work also on your stock wheels, after you put your wheel back on, these are a little tiny O-ring. You can get these either in an O-ring kit, but I got these out of shock rebuild kits. Pop them down in there, And because you have so much extra space right here, you're able to come out a little bit, and that'll give you a little bit extra width, and it'll still plenty of room down inside for your hex to lock into place. All right, I am gonna start putting the rest of this stuff on and then get back with you at the finished product. I think those wheels are looking pretty good. Well, I've got the front done, and check this out. Something look a little crooked there. So they made this servo wire so short, and the way it comes across there, you just really can't get your proper articulation. So I'm gonna have to either move this or extend this wire. And the other little thing, yeah, you see how much is keeping that shock compressed compared to that one. But the other thing is, did anybody else have any problems with stripped screws? Because when I pulled this portal apart, on 3 of the 4 screws, the plastic was still on the threads, so they were completely stripped out. When I pulled them out, I had to go back in there very gently. I think it's going to be okay, but just one of the little things. So I'm going to get that moved around, get the other 2 tires mounted up, and because I think once I get this freed up, we're going to have a really nice amount of articulation. So everything is moved around and where I want it. So nice and full extension now. What I ended up doing was rotating this 180 degrees and using Velcro so I can slide this around and mount it any way I wanted it. And I also had to take the on and off button loose. It was originally on this side. So I moved it over to here, and it's just free floating, but I can just click it on and off as necessary. And I also used Velcro in the battery bay instead of that weird little O-ring clip over that just kind of seemed to slide clean over the battery and let it fall out anyway. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that they only give you like a 2.5 inch servo wire, but they give you a long enough power whip to reach the bed. So that's kind of a funny thing. But now that we are all put together, check this out. And that is, the other 3 tires are on the ground. Now that is some serious flex we got out of this guy. Let me remove these so you can see. Oh, our articulation has gone to the ridiculous side. Let's get this thing out and see how these modifications work out for us. So we were out and we are hooked up and working. I figured we'll start off with the pit of doom. If it can crawl its way out of here, we're doing pretty good. It is gripping so much better already. I think our mods turned out really good. It looks really nice. And it seems to be flexing and grabbing, doing all the things I hoped it would. Come on, you can get out of here. It did it. All right. The question is, how much further will it go? It is the 4th of July, so it might be a little noisy. There's a lot of outside noise going on today. Look at that thing. It is doing an incredible job. I wasn't even originally planning on trying to go up this little section. I was just going to go straight up the other end, but it's doing so good, I'm going to give it a try. Well, sorry for being so quiet. I am just blown away by this thing. I cannot believe it is just creeping up this thing like this. It's pretty incredible. I really thought we were going to lose it there. One thing I have kind of noticed, there's a lot of slop in the axles and the back and forth. Like you'll notice when one wheel's free, it'll kind of spin a little bit before it clicks, it seems. I thought for sure it was going to go over on that one. Really having a hard time finding a safe path up this section. Well, that's going to wrap it up. We did not make it past this section here. The gaps were just too big and it kept sliding the wheel down in it. I had to stop recording, unfortunately, because my camera overheated on me and shut down. Because you only have about 20 minutes to a half hour on those Insta360 Go-Tos before they need to be back in their docking bay, and I goofed around too long. But, as you can see from just the pure example of performance, this thing did amazing. So these are really great upgrades, at least for me. Hopefully you'll enjoy them too, but just look at that compression. I mean, you're getting all the way up in there. But, so the articulation's great, the extra weight definitely helped, and now it thinks it's a Spider, so perfect. Power Wagon Spider. Well, have a good one, everybody. I will leave links to these parts below if you want to do any of this stuff yourself, and I hope you have a great day.